fucking terrible at intros.
This whole
Oh
time
my
I've been
God,
struggling, man. I don't.
This is our like 7th or 8th take
Yeah.
of trying to do this
This
intro.
it's a pretty good morning so far.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Well,
man.
hello everyone.
Howdy.
Welcome back. You know what
Howdy,
show
howdy.
it is. That
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
where those two guys sit in a closet
And record.
and rant
Yeah.
about stupid shit.
And shit their pants in a
All right,
4x4.
That never fucking happened. I don't know what you're talking about. You fed me half a pot of coffee this morning. I don't know what
Hey,
you want
man.
from me, man.
It's good coffee.
It fucking better be.
But, hi.
Shout out to Black Rifle Coffee.
Yeah, shout out to Black Rifle.
Sponsorships. What's up, son? What's up?
Dude, if only. If only.
God,
I'd be
I
proud. Proud
God,
to
I
slap
wish.
those stickers around.
That sounds so dirty.
What, slap those stickers
Slap
around?
those stickers around.
Hey, man, that's what you do.
I don't like it. I don't
I
like
feel
that
like
thing.
I feel like that term is pretty old school.
No.
I feel like that
No, it's
you
not.
would hear people saying that, like slapping a sticker.
No.
Like
Oh,
early 90s.
slapping a sticker.
Yeah, slapping a sticker.
like in
around.
the
Yeah.
old Tony Hawk games, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, that
Old
makes
90s
sense, I guess.
skaters culture,
Yeah, you're not. Okay, I get that one.
thrash, kind of stuff.
Are you thrash now?
I don't know, man.
Gonna wear a Thrasher sweater?
I had the magazines when those were like still super popular. They've got to still be around though.
Well, I mean, they've got a whole clothing line based on it now. I'm sure the magazine's got to be
Right.
huge now.
Still a good backing and stuff like that. Because they have
Do people read magazines still? I mean, I guess I don't know.
That's
I
a
guess I do.
question.
Like Huckleberry, like there's a clothing company that I have never bought clothes from because it's so stupidly expensive. I think it's like a Huckberry. But every like 3 months or something like that, they send out this magazine edition, and it does have some of like the clothes and stuff in there, but they always go to like new locations. So like the one time they were in a fishing harbor in Maine, which was super cool. They had like really cool pictures in there.
So just for like the photo shoots or to like display the clothes or
So it's a little bit of both. They'll usually pick like somebody that they spotlight. So the one really cool one that they did in Hawaii, they were working with Kelly Slater's new clothing line.
Oh, okay.
So they did a whole like story, on him, and then him wearing the clothes and stuff, and then they did a couple photo shoots, and it was just kind of cool to look through and everything. But
Yeah, that sounds
otherwise,
awesome.
but those are just like they're just sent to me. I don't pay for them or anything.
Right,
so I'm
right.
wondering if people still pay
For like
magazines.
subscriptions.
Yeah.
So for like Sports Illustrated or
Well.
like Hustler.
Yeah. There it is. I wasn't gonna go that route until you said Sports Illustrated, and then I was like, I'm sure there's some dudes buying those swimsuit editions
I'm
still.
just waiting for those, specialty issues to come out.
Disgusting. I just
Age
I just
35. immediately
imagine some 40, 50-year-old dude
No.
in his parents' basement. That's all I think about. That's
No,
the
I
first
don't-
image that runs through my head.
That's gross.
They still watch VHS tapes.
Like old VHS tapes.
You know what kind of VHS tapes I'm talking about.
Gross.
It's fucking disgusting. Oh, God. Anyways, how was your week?
It was good. It was real good. Pretty slow. Was not expecting the snow.
Yeah, fuck that
It's
snow.
complete fucking bullshit, man. Like, I just put away all my winter stuff, got everything else out that was moderately, like, cold weaning into warm.
Yeah.
I hadn't bust out the shorts yet, none of the flip-flops or any of that stuff, but, some nice button-ups, like a sweatshirt or two, something like that. And, yeah, Mother Nature can go fuck herself.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Although, I made this realization, and I don't think it's a coincidence.
What's that?
It snowed. Almost in May, it snowed. And we're in the final season of Game of Thrones.
Oh, my God.
Hey,
No.
listen, not a conspiracy theorist here, but winter's coming. Winter's coming.
Look, man,
All right.
if it's not Ragnarok, I don't give a fuck what kind of winter it is.
Well, maybe it is.
Yeah.
I don't judge. I mean, maybe your Ragnarok is somebody's winter is coming.
In a different mythos.
Yeah.
We're gonna get philosophical.
Oh, getting philosophical this episode.
Solid.
Ooh, loving it.
But yeah,
Anyways, sorry, we got off track.
No,
That's normal
that's
for
the
us.
point of this.
Yeah, that's pretty much the whole point of this.
But yeah, outside of the surprise with all the snow and stuff, I mean, it was pretty basic week. Nothing too substantial happened outside of like a couple of really good games came out.
Oh yeah, like what?
Yeah. I've been playing the shit out of MK11, like just nonstop fighting with that kind of stuff, which is, you know, it's been a lot of fun.
For people that don't know, that's Mortal Kombat.
So Mortal Kombat's a fighting game. It's like one of the side-scrolling fighter games. It's been around for fucking generations, and the newest installment had come out, so it's a nice couple homages to the older installments from the series. But all in all, man, they've made such wonderful and incredibly graphic expansions on their technology and their engines that they use to make a lot of that stuff. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's a good time. It's a really good time.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
I've been busy slaving away trying to make this podcast become something. But
hey man, I'm not a part of production.
We all have our niche.
I don't get paid, and I don't do stuff for PR.
I mean, hold on. You said you don't get paid?
I don't get paid.
I'm pretty sure I don't get paid.
Yeah, well, different levels.
But we gotta make the world go round, okay?
Yeah. No, I'll admit, dude, you do dive in pretty hard. I'm just terrible at interacting with people that I don't know. So like if I get comments or something like that, like, yeah, absolutely, like, you know, I really appreciate, you know, feedback and stuff like that. But the toughest part for me is like thinking of things to post and like do something, because I'm
everyone listening to the podcast right now, go to our Facebook page and I want you to tag Drake in a comment so that he's forced to respond to what you guys are saying. We need this man. Hashtag make Drake work again.
God,
that's
what?
It. Hashtag
what
make
Drake
right
now,
work again.
I'm 50% of this fucking situation. Not the heavy lifting part, but still.
Yeah, you're 50% of the recording. No, he does do a lot. It's just, you know, we gotta teach him the ways of Facebook.
There's a lot of stuff that
just gotta make him dive right in. So yeah. Everybody just
there's a lot of this process that I don't really grasp quite yet, and you know, Jake has been really good about teaching and showing as we go through and make these episodes, or like the time lapses that we made. You know, it's just all a huge learning curve for me. Like, I haven't done any of this stuff. Doing this was the first time I'd ever actually talked into a physical microphone outside of, you know, like a headset for gaming.
Right.
So this is completely new territory for me.
And I give him shit, but he's done great. He's grown along the way.
Thanks.
Yeah. We're 3 episodes deep, but it feels like we've been doing this for a year because of how much I've had to teach him. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But no, it's been a good time, and I mean, he's 50% of the show, like he said. I mean, I couldn't be able to. I could do this without your half, but
you wouldn't have that bellotone sound.
Yeah, it'd be a lot more boring.
No, you're a pretty entertaining guy.
I mean, but talking to myself the whole time.
See, that's just
in a
depressing.
Closet. That's fucking weird.
I'd have a lot of questions. Plus, to have to hear that shit from across the living room, like you just talking to yourself.
That would be fucking weird. And you know, I'd just be sitting there motherfucking you the whole time.
That's fine, man. Yeah. Nothing out of the normal.
Yeah. But instead of what we learned this week, I just call it what Drake did.
I fucking hate about my friends.
What Drake did this week. What Drake did or didn't do this week. Nah, but it's been a good time so far.
Yeah, it's been a really good time.
Yeah. So, anyways, back on a topic.
What's that?
Back on a topic.
What
do you got for me this week?
Actually, we had a super cool reach out. And we got our first Patreon, which is really cool as well.
Oh yeah, shout out to Nicole for that.
Yeah,
thank you for being
Appreciate
our first patron.
So much. But the feedback that she had given us was really, really cool. Like, and it's like I touched on earlier. Like, it was really, really good hearing feedback and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I've heard a ton already from other people too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she was.
Yeah, she was on
real good pointers.
Yeah, on the money with what we were doing, I think it'd be a good idea to kind of elaborate and explain our intentions fully on like our direction with recording these episodes and stuff, that we want to maintain a completely unfiltered, just raunchy and whatever the fuck pops into our head mentality.
And just to expand on your point, not to totally cut you off.
No, it's fine. Fuck me.
Yeah, fuck you. But no, like when we first started the podcast, but before we started the podcast, when we had the idea to start the podcast, that was a big topic that we talked about was, do we go a filtered route and potentially reach a bigger audience, I guess, because when you say certain things on your podcast, or you say the word fuck on your podcast, immediately when I go on iTunes, I have to put that we're an explicit, audio.
Yeah, it's flagged.
So it's like, do we want to go the route of being filtered and maybe having a bigger audience, or do we want to go the route of unfiltered and not seem like we're holding anything back? Because I feel like, me, when I listen to podcasts or watch stuff on YouTube, I can tell when somebody's BSing me and they're holding back of like how they really feel or think or anything.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's fine. I get it, why you would do it, especially on YouTube. But
with the monetization issues and everything else, and like the ad wars that were going on for a long time, you definitely saw a lot of channels kind of lean and
become a cleaner version of themselves.
Yeah,
almost,
exactly.
But for us, we were just like, nah, fuck that. Half of our conversations would be cut. Half of last week's episode would have been completely cut out if that's how we were.
Yep.
And I'm glad that we're not. So hopefully you guys enjoy it too. And, the other thing is, other than reaching a broader audience, we also knew, obviously, that our friends and family were going to hear this podcast. And that was another big thing, was like, do we want to go? Do we want our family to hear what we're really like? God. You know what I mean?
Because they created us. They created this monster. Outside of our own interpersonal situations and experiences, like, you guys created all this bullshit.
This is your monster to deal with now. You must look it in the face.
So we're putting it out to the public so you can't hide.
Exactly. No. So, but yeah, I think, from what we've heard so far, it's been really, really good feedback.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard anything super negative yet as far as the unfiltered aspect goes. Nobody said, "Oh my god, you guys took it too far" or anything like that. So
no, and those topics haven't come yet.
They will with time.
Oh,
with time, I'm sure we'll cross a line at somewhere for someone, and that's just gonna happen.
Yeah, you can't make everybody happy all the time, and you know what, like.
But fuck you, this is our show.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Yeah, I was gonna try and sound like like more like in-depth thought about this, but yeah, fuck you.
This is
like,
our
get
show.
The fuck out of here.
No, we do love all of you, but
yeah.
That's kind of just the decision we decided to roll with. So we wanted to make sure everyone was aware that that's what we are. And
as we've recorded, like you had mentioned it earlier, we're getting more comfortable with this. We're getting into a zone where, I remember recording the first episode and like shaking and like, okay, do we start now? Like 10 seconds of silence. And now, like, we were fucking dying laughing.
Oh my god.
2 seconds, like he said, it took us 7 times of restarting the intro to actually be able to have a fluent, ongoing conversation, or like to start the
I'm not gonna lie to you. When you guys re-listen to this, or when you listen to this podcast and you hear that intro music, just know that me and Drake are silently fucking dying before that intro cuts out.
Like I was crying.
Yeah, like we were dying before that intro cut out, and then we just went right into talking. So it's cool that we can, we're at that point now where we're comfortable enough that we can do it that way.
Yeah, so. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a manufactured intro. Like the comfortability that we're at now it'll only get better. I will say though, however, another new part of the show, at the end of the show, you guys are gonna hear like a little outro, just kind of explaining a few things. That'll be in every episode from here on out. It might change what we say, but we'll have an outro from here on out. That one's a little more manufactured because
kind of had to just come up with something for that pre-recorded almost, you know. But otherwise, all these intros and everything, these are in the moment intros, so you get what you get.
Yeah, either they're really good or we're tired as fuck. Sunday morning.
Oh, good old Sunday mornings.
Good old Sundays, God's day.
Yeah, and here we are.
Working our asses off.
Talking the raunchiest shit on God's day.
Hey, man. Represent.
Represent. Anyways, so now that we got that out of the way for you folks, what else you got for us, man? We got questions this week. What do you got? What you got?
You know, I was thinking about it the other day, because there was, that song that you had showed me,
what song?
The one that, Logic did, where he brought all the Wu-Tang guys back together.
Wu-Tang Forever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Fucking awesome
good song.
But you know, that got me thinking about, like, that era of music, you know, how it's kind of, like, lost its pizzazz, and, you know, I mean, genres develop over time, but it got me thinking about that, like, and I was wondering, what was, okay, so let me clarify a little bit more.
All right.
With music being that impactful, you know, with some people, or, like, growing up, like, if you really get into it, you really get into it.
Yeah.
What was your most impactful album growing up?
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a tough one.
Does it have to be album, or can it be artist?
It doesn't matter. Just I mean, it's a pretty broad spectrum.
Shit, that's tough. I mean, obviously, I can't lie. Like, with the era that we grew up in, as a kid, a young kid, gotta go in sync.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, come on now. That was our eras. Like, we were that boy band era.
Yeah.
Gotta go in sync.
Yeah.
As I got older,
actually, I think I remember that. Just not to cut you off from continuing. I remember you with Frosted Tips.
The fuck you. Suck my dick. That never fucking happened. Fuck you. That never happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right. Look, we want to talk about your current haircut?
Oh yeah, I cut all my hair off. I chopped it all off. I literally look like a 20-year-old
trying to
that
act
just
like a
found out she was lesbian, and like had to catch up. Like, for all that time passed, she had experimented a little bit, found her way, found her, you know, what she was and her comfortability level, and she's like, I'm gonna embrace this wholeheartedly. Botch job.
Botch job of the hair.
Yeah, I look like a prepubescent 10-year-old.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross.
Fucking awesome. Anyways, back on topic.
Yeah, sorry.
As I got older, obviously, excuse me, my music influence changed a little bit. I don't know, my teen years, I guess I'd have to probably go The Carter, Lil Wayne's album, The Carter 3.
Good album.
And I listened to some of the older school stuff too, a little bit of Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And then, but since probably college on, I would say the most influential, the ones that I could listen to any day of the week, my desert island artist, Dirty Heads.
Dirty Heads?
Dirty Heads, any day of the week.
Dig it.
Fucking, I can listen to literally any album, any song on that album, and I will know the whole song, and I'll like the whole song.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, that's super rare to find. So that would probably, I have to put them number one.
Oh yeah.
Have to.
No doubt.
Now, there's other ones that are
because you pick up other bands as you're exploring and you're checking out other genres, or, you know, like, Spotify's notorious for creating playlists
of fuckery.
Of just, like, well, you like this guy, well, here's your weekly playlist. I'm just gonna bombard you with bands that sound just like them, but a little bit different. And,
that's how I learned about Revolution, which is because I was listening to Dirty Heads, and Revolution was on their Spotify playlist. And then there was
that dude that well, he sounds a lot like Dirty Heads now, but that the video you had made and released.
Oh, like, Dominic Fike. Yeah, really like him. Dominic Fike's good. Still pretty new into the scene, but I'll be interested to see what he does with his first album.
He gets down, man.
Yeah, that guy can
seriously good.
Thrash. He's good. Anyways, how about you?
That's a tough one, really. I mean, growing up, we had so many. At least, like, I'll throw my sister into this too. Like, we.
Oh, Blink 182 as
Blink
well.
182?
That's another one I have to add to mine. Blink 182.
That's a good one. I was never a Green Day guy.
I kind of was.
I never got into Green Day. It was usually like Blink 182, Sum 41.
Yeah.
You like the almost like poppier end of it, I guess. I don't know.
Who was the other one? Oh, 3 Days Grace.
3 Days
I was
Grace.
a 3
Oh,
Days
fuck
Grace
yeah.
fan.
See,
Definitely.
that was like weaning into like the edgy era, getting into
edginess.
Yeah, super edgy.
Angsty teens.
Yeah, angst.
Yeah.
Oh man, the amount of angst. If we can make that into a fuel.
Angst fuel?
Angst, yeah. Like, you know, like Monsters, Inc. It was like scream and then laughter.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you could make angst for any, like, Midwestern kids in rural towns, you could power cities with that shit.
Any town, you're gonna have them.
But,
yeah, sorry,
I think growing up, since we had so much influence, like, my dad was really into, he was really into, like, metal. Or not like metal, but like harder rock, you know, like Rammstein and Static X, you know, all that stuff. And then in contrast, he also religiously listened to like old school trance, like EDM, like trance when it was trance, like
90% 808 bass.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you think of like old school, like taking ecstasy, going fucking crazy in like some underground warehouse somewhere, that kind of music is what he used to listen to.
Nice.
And then we had contrast from Mom, which was country, classic rock, alternative, you know, very hippie, go lucky, happy, you know, horses on a ranch kind of thing. And
gonna take
no,
Old Town Road. I'm sorry, you said it. I had to. That fucking song, man.
You know, with those contrasts and personal preference and stuff like that, like one of my strongest memories that I had with my dad was going to Little League practice, and it was my first day of practice, and we're all packed in this fucking van. It was me and my 5 other siblings, and we're rolling up on the meetup spot for like the team or whatever, and I was gonna meet the coach and all the other little kids that were playing, which I fucking hated baseball, by the way. I absolutely hated it.
I'm surprised that you were in it.
So was I. Well, my parents really wanted me to fucking do stuff and be sociable. Fuck that noise now. But
now I just sit in my room all day and play Mortal
video games
Kombat.
And sit here and record this and all that shit. But
nothing wrong with this. You're being sociable.
Fuck
We're reaching like 200 people with this right now, so that's sociable. Anyways.
But yeah, we just rolled up, and I was nervous as fuck. I've always been a nervous wreck going into stuff that I'm not familiar with, and I remembered rolling up and my dad noticing how fucking nervous I was, and he just cranked Push It by Static X. like I couldn't even hear myself think. Like, it was just so fucking loud in this van, and I just sat in there for like 5 minutes, just same song on repeat, just jamming the fuck out, and was like, all right, let's fucking do this, like a little, 7-year-old.
And then he went out there and punched one of the fucking kids right in the face and got kicked out of the game.
That was soccer.
Oh,
that was soccer, yeah. I got really physical in soccer.
Yeah. And fuck around in soccer, man.
Fuck no! It's my ball, bitch.
Give me my ball, bitch.
I was a forward, man. I took pride in that shit.
See, I was midfield. Give me the whole field, dude. Yeah. I'll fuck you up on the floor. I'll fuck you up on your goal, and then I'll fuck you up over by my goal, too. I'm not afraid of you.
See, I didn't have the stamina for that. Until we got into, like, cross-country and shit, I never had stamina for that.
Man.
I was always the breakaway kid. Boom. Just run it, try not to get off sides and take a shot. Gas myself out on the walk back.
I had them little legs, but them little legs could travel like a motherfucker.
Is this elbow movement?
Elbow movement.
Knees chest. Was that Mr. God, what was the name of that fucking? Oh, whatever. But yeah. So I think I really got into the techno of it in Scooter. It's probably a really vague, really unknown reference, but Scooter was a huge DJ in like Europe and stuff, and I used to listen to him religiously at the house. And then so yeah, that was like, I don't know. And I mean, you can find comparisons in a lot of different genres, but for me, for some reason, like that was my dude. That was the guy I always listened to. I'd think about stuff. It was more, I can't really say influential, but like my taste in music, it had a huge influence in that.
Right. Now I will say, for me, like as a young child, like where you were talking about memories of like your parents and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, going back that far, there's specific songs that I'll hear that bring me so far back into my childhood that I don't even remember what I was doing. I just remember hearing those songs.
Oh, God.
So like, like Queen or the Eagles. What was the other
Chicago.
one? Oh, yeah, Chicago.
Yeah.
ABBA, or ABBA, however you want to say it. But yeah, all those albums, I guess I would call those influential for that time period because.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and I still listen to all those guys and all those songs. So
Dude, you can't not.
I guess I call that influential.
You know, you might have heard those songs 500 times over, but you still want to hear them. You still want to sing along with them.
Or the Beatles. Beatles was a big one.
Dude.
Yeah, I think that was my first. I want to say that was my first CD ever.
You bought?
Was no, my
just
parents got me.
Nice.
It was the Yellow Submarine album.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, I think that was the first CD I ever got. Now here you go. Here's a good one. So, when I was a kid, this is so good. So Backstreet Boys was big.
Right.
NSYNC was big, right?
Ba, ba, ba.
Yeah. So I was. It was Christmas time, and I had asked my grandma, my family, for Backstreet Boys on the little cassette tape.
Oh right, yeah.
For the Backstreet Boys, right? I opened my present that year, and it was the Blackstreet Boys, which were the guys that sang that song from Holes.
No Diggity?
Yeah, No Diggity.
Oh, yeah,
and
dude.
I was like, and I had no idea who that was or that song or anything until years later when Holes came out. And I was like, man, I love this song. I feel like I've heard it before.
Good fucking
and
song.
Sure shit, it was from the Blackstreet Boys album. That little fucking cassette that I got, that was them. I was like, man, my grandma was smarter than she
was
knew.
kicking, man. She knew what
She's like, nah, you don't want that Backstreet Boys gay shit. He want this stuff,
Dude,
the Blackstreet Boys. And man,
no
yeah,
doubt.
yo,
no
that
doubt.
was. I think I still have the cassette somewhere. Like,
yeah, I hope so, man.
I don't have a cassette player, but
we gotta fix that, man. We gotta go to some garage sales.
Oh,
I want to hear like that original. It's like
the
buying
old
records.
School, yeah.
Like
yeah, but I feel like
hipster.
records. Yeah, records are so like. I love records. I love vinyl, but it's just like you get pushed into a niche.
Yeah.
Niche. If you buy one like a vinyl player
I know,
nowadays.
but like I'll be that guy. And it sounds cliche as shit because there's always been that argument back and forth of like, you know, which one sounds better. I just feel like vinyl sounds cleaner to me because it's just straight audio. There's no processing. There's no anything like that. It's literally just there.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. That's completely contextual too because there's a lot of different types of. I'm just gonna stop talking about it because I'm just gonna dig myself into a deeper hole of being a fucking hipster. So
yeah, kind of a hipster. But
fuck you.
But, oh god, that's the life we live though.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Growing up, it was pretty much just all of that, just compiled, and then not to mention my brothers were a huge influence because they lived out in the city,
right,
or at least near the city growing up, and you know, they were punks, man. They were fucking old school punks, like you know,
the denim cutoff vests.
Oh, dude, if they weren't wearing those or wearing bondage belts and like the striped skinny jeans and the treasure boots, like fucking bad 2 foot tall mohawks and shit. Like,
so they were like the
badasses.
What are those?
Gutter punks.
Gutter punks.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
what do they call them? What do they call them in? What were the English? No. Get off my lawn, you gypsy!
Get off my lawn, you gypsy!
No, what do they call them over in Europe? What was that? What was the punk era there? They called them. Shit, that's gonna annoy me. I can't. There was an audition that I had where they wanted us to dress and.
Wasn't it gutter punks?
No, it wasn't gutter punk. It was.
Scabs.
No, it's gonna fuck.
It's like I called a scab a lot when I got into that.
Oh god. Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then I looked it up, and it's literally the European version of like a gutter punk here.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, like they're hardcore, man, and I looked up to them like crazy because they were just, you know, coming from a more humble area, and then seeing like fucking hardcore city boys, you know, they didn't give a fuck about anything, man. Like that was huge, and like going into like my teenage years and then into high school, that's fucking like that transition happened because I don't know if you remember me being like,
oh, I remember you.
Yeah, so I listened to a lot of like really old punk, like the Exploited and fucking Black Flag, and like I mean you kind of notice like Misfits and all that stuff too, because
Yeah,
it just
everybody wears a Misfit shirt.
okay, no, fuck, okay, now you just pulled the trigger on me.
I knew this was gonna come up.
Fuck those guys that wear Misfit shit or like any other punk band or like Ramones and any of that stuff, and couldn't tell me a name of a song.
Yeah,
like that is the purest way. If we're sitting in a line to a fucking show, and I see you wearing a Ramones or a Black Flag or a Misfits t-shirt, I'm gonna ask you like, hey man, like what's up, like nice shirt, what's your favorite song, because just conversation in line. If you can't tell me a fucking name of a song, I'm gonna hit you upside the head with my fucking knuckles, dude. Like I'm gonna bounce your head off the concrete. Fuck you.
I couldn't name a song by any of them.
But you don't. You're not that guy though.
And I don't
you're
have
not
a
that
shirt.
Guy. Like you can say like there's plenty of bands that like I love some of their songs, but I couldn't name one.
Right. Yeah.
That's not what irks me. You know, what irks me is like you're wearing the merch, you're repping something that was like substantial for that era. Dude. Don't be a cunt.
Well,
like don't be that guy.
It was like I don't know, man.
Sorry, that was
the whole
really
fashion
specific word.
Whatever.
That's just what I think.
It's just like the whole fashion, like oh god, the fashion trends.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I remember when Gucci
and
was
don't get me wrong, like
the Misfits emblem.
Exactly.
It's like a part of their line.
And like, don't get me wrong, like I like to, you know, maybe not be as fashionable as some of these other people out here, but I like to, you know, keep up so I don't look like a fucking nerd all the time. But like some of these, man, where they're like ripped down in Gucci.
Oh god.
Jesus.
Like what was that? What was that video of that dude? Like he was just like walking on the sidewalk, and some guy took a video of him because he was wearing like Gucci jacket. Yeah, it was everything was Gucci pretty much, and then Supreme, and then he was wearing like snowboard goggles.
Yeah,
from
that was a
Supreme.
big thing. That was a huge thing.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, man, look at you decked out in Gucci. He's like, yes. Like, you just some random fucking dude walking like flexing that hard. Relax,
or like,
bro.
Okay, did you see Supreme? This is how I know our generation and the generation after us will never be allowed to make fun of our parents for buying pet rocks, because Supreme came out with a fucking brick that literally just said Supreme. It was stamped on it, and these fucking retards were buying that stuff for like $50 a brick.
Dude, just because it said Supreme.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
That's literally like I'd say close to 60% of the population.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, of that youth population.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we're categorizing in that.
Yeah, it's just that's so fucking dumb. I don't get it. That whole.
No, because we were raised rational.
Yeah.
To like see things as they were.
Don't
People
buy
are
a
salesmen.
brick for $50.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna walk fucking 25 feet away to my neighbor's garden. I'm gonna take one of those suckers, chisel that away in my afternoon, make Supreme, and go make $50.
You know how?
Fuck that, I'm gonna make 60.
You know how many
You're an
fucking
idiot.
tacos I can buy with $50?
A lot.
A lot of fucking tacos.
With how we budget, man.
Yeah.
That shit's going in the freezer.
Exactly. You're damn straight. Oh god.
Be having Taco Bell tacos. 12-pack. Like,
hey Jake, this one's a little frostbitten. I'll just throw it in the blender. We'll just smoothie it.
Ooh, make a puree.
Stop. That. Don't act like that sounds fucking good,
dude. Binging with Babish can do some shit.
I don't care
shout
what
out
he
to
can
Binging
do.
with Babish. He'll probably never hear this, but you are like my favorite fucking culinary channel ever. You're the greatest. I love you.
And now he wants to puree tacos because of you.
Well, no, I mean,
thanks.
Well,
thanks
no,
for that.
He's done a lot of really funny videos, and that's just it made me think of that because he's done some really kooky shit. Like he did a lot of
Fuck you! Don't sponsor him right now.
No, I'm not plugging or anything. But like, it's just
totally
kidding.
I'm totally
not
fucking
fanboying.
kidding.
Yeah, he did. What was that? The Always Sunny milk steak and all that shit. Like he just does kooky recipes
fucking
from like TV.
Milk steak.
Oh god. Yeah.
Gross.
Boiling steak and.
You know, it's really funny. What I just thought about when I made that little puke noise.
What?
I can't wait for people in this podcast who gag to the sound of puke noises. Oh, I'm so happy that's in there now.
Yeah,
that'll
be a good one. We'll hopefully get some feedback.
Oh, we will. Yeah. No, you know where the feedback's gonna be. All of our comments. Hashtag make Drake work again.
God damn it.
I'm putting that on a hat. What's What's the acronym for that? Make Drake Work Again. MDGA?
Oh,
No,
for a second I was
no.
like MDMA. I was like,
No,
can't do
Jesus.
that.
Did I say MDGA? No, it's MDWA.
WA.
And MDWA. Wow, I kind of like that, actually. That's kind of dope.
pretty catchy.
Yeah, I'm putting that on a hat.
But, yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, yeah, so all this huge tangent in circle. So, yeah, going into, like, teenage years and stuff like that. It was kind of punky, rock, got into screamo and metal and black metal, and now I think during that time period, I think the most influential album was definitely, like, a 3 Days Grace.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you would say that one. I did not expect that from you coming into this conversation.
Like, they got it.
Yeah.
Like, they totally got the message of, like, that angsty, like, wanting to rise up, kind of transcend what you were doing or the problems that you were having. I mean, it was like,
They hit the angst.
Yeah, that were like POD. Dude,
God,
POD was fucking... Jesus. Yeah, that's where it was. Or Papa Roach. Papa Roach was a big one.
Yeah, Last Resort.
But yeah, like that, and then I think my most influential album now, like like you had said, something you could listen to every day, any song from any shuffled album, anything else, probably Cage the Elephant. I think,
see that one I could guess.
Yeah. That
one I think I would have, if you would have given me a couple guesses, that would have been like 3 guesses. I would have guessed that one.
Yeah, Cage the Elephant for me, dude. They just, I don't know, like that's smooth rolling music, man.
Yeah.
Like that is just.
All right, so right now, top three artists right now for you.
Top 3 artists
for right now.
Pup, spelled P-U-P, all capitals, Canadian band out of Toronto, fucking amazing.
Interesting.
Highly Suspect.
Ooh, yep, there you go.
Fantastic band. And Shaky Graves.
I knew Shaky Graves would be in
dude.
there.
Good old Shaky, man. He just rocks and fucking rolls. Like he's an old school, like funky, folky, just great. Like anything that I've seen of him, obviously he's expanded over time, but the first time I had seen him perform live, not like actually in person, but like Audio Tree.
Audio Tree, yeah.
Yeah, he did a whole set, and it was just this fucking little skinny dude in a day goatee with some skinnies on, jamming out on his guitar.
Why not?
Standing in front of a suitcase with a bass drum and a tambourine attached to it.
Nice.
And dude was just going in the soul. Like you could feel him. Like that's how hard this dude was singing.
I'm a pretty big. I feel like me and you both kind of rolled into the folk music around the same time as each other. Like folk just became the big part of what I started listening to. Top 3.
Yeah.
I'd have to go Dirty Heads, obviously. Maybe Dominic Fike right now. Like I said, kid's got to prove himself still. His EP, great. I mean, it was transcendent from what he was prior to that. So I'd have to maybe put him up there. We'll keep him there for right now.
Yeah.
Another one. Just purely for entertainment, probably Ski Mask.
Yeah.
Ski Mask, the Slump God. I gotta put him up there just because he's so entertaining with his lyrics. It's just so weird. For sure. Number 4, though? Oliver Tree.
Oliver Tree? Dude, Oliver Tree is a fucking champ.
I might move him to number 3, but he's in 4 for right now.
Yeah, I think my 4th would definitely be X.
Oh.
XXX.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I thought your number 4 would be Pink Guy.
Oh, Joji?
Yeah.
Joji is a fucking awesome artist. Like he's done amazing things and made a lot of awesome fucking moves recently.
For a long time.
Dude, I mean, like I was watching
been around for a long time.
Dude, I was watching that guy when he was still Filthy Frank. Like I haven't I'll have to check that out. But when he had all those characters, dude, like Pink Guy and like I pretty much grew up listening to him on YouTube, and the stuff that he's doing now, man, so fucking good. Yeah. So fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 4th would be X.
Yeah.
Because a lot of his stuff.
We did listen to him a lot. That's true. Before he passed.
Before. Well, I mean, and the stuff that was released by Slum, like.
Oh yeah, definitely. Slum God. Yeah.
Skins, dude, still probably one of my favorite albums.
Good album. That was his postmortem album.
Yeah.
That one was good. Otherwise, man,
Yeah, no.
It's good music talk there.
Yeah, fuck
Oh,
yeah.
also,
I could talk about this all day, man.
Yeah, right.
That and
Before
video
we
games.
before we cut out, I did
I'm a
also
geek.
want to give a quick shout out to our friend Duke Coughlin over at the Sports Rant with Duke
Oh, yeah.
Coughlin.
Yeah.
Dude's a total G. He's actually been doing podcasting for quite a bit longer than we have here. He was a huge help in helping us set this up, and key pointers of getting all this stuff put together and how we should do it and everything like that. So if you guys are sports fans at all, I highly recommend going to his channel. He's had some really, really cool guest stars on there. A couple football players and everything like that he's had on there. Guy is super fucking knowledgeable in almost every sport. Like, one of the most knowledgeable people that I've ever met. Like, he dedicates himself to the sports world.
Yeah, that craft.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking intense. But yeah, I would strongly recommend going and checking him out. It's the Sports Rant with Duke Coughlin. You can find that on Facebook, or I think he said what else did he say he's on? Spotify?
I think he's on Spotify.
Is he Spotify? Yeah, I can't remember, but he's got all of his links and everything on his Facebook channel, so be sure to check that man out as well.
Check that guy
and
out.
I think we're gonna try and get him on our show.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
If he'll work with a couple of assholes like us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
let's definitely get him on here.
His show's literally called The Sports Rant, so we know he's got to be semi-decent at ranting. So.
Hope he likes talking about UFC.
Yeah. Oh, UFC. Favorite fighter right now? Go.
Favorite fighter?
Right
dude,
now. Go.
Right now?
Right now. Go.
Who was that dude that fought? Alva. Not Alva.
Silva. Anderson Silva.
Yeah. Who was that kid?
God damn it! The fight we just watched.
Yeah. Because I ended up looking up.
Adesanya? Is that how you pronounce it? Adesanya?
That guy's a fucking monster, dude.
Yeah.
Like, if there was a cookie cutter version of Silva that you can move back, like, I'd say 10 years and like age, but kept the same skill format. Boom.
No,
right there. That
no fucking way.
kid.
No fucking way. Dude, Anderson Silva in his time, one of the greatest grapplers I've ever seen.
I'm just saying, like, per individual, okay, like Silva where he's at now.
Yeah.
In that time period would be he'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that.
But this kid, this up and coming, like, he is. I did not see him. I did not hear a mention of him before I saw that clip. That guy's a fucking monster.
Yeah, he's pretty.
To go pace for pace in the same style.
Anderson's fucking old now, dude.
It doesn't matter.
His injuries
Snapped his fucking leg. Still fucking goes in and volunteers to do shit.
I don't give a fuck. Anyways, my favorite.
Yeah.
Take a guess.
Yours?
Yeah, take a guess.
I don't know, McGregor.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's the ginger beard.
It's that ginger beard. Every time I fucking go to work, I get at least like one person that calls me that when I'm behind the bar. Like, hey, McGregor. I'm like, fuck. I mean, there's way worse people to look like. I'm cool with Connor.
Dude.
So yeah, I gotta go.
He's
Connor.
an attractive
and
man.
Technically, he's retired, but fuck no, he's not.
But
he's
even so, man,
he's coming back.
Everybody will remember that fucking name, man.
Exactly. Anyways, that's a topic for another time.
Yeah.
We're running low on our time here.
But
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We gotta say goodbye.
We'll get there. We'll get there, man.
Okay.
I know.
Anyways, we love you all.
Yeah.
So much. We love you.
Thanks for tuning in. Listen to us bullshit.
Now fuck all you guys. We don't need
Jesus.
Just kidding. Yes, thank you again, guys, and make sure to stay tuned during the credits and the outro.
Yeah.
For a sneak peek of our next episode. No, I'm totally kidding. There's no sneak peek. I just want you to hear my outro that it took me so long to create.
Yeah, he put a lot of effort into it, so just check it out.
Yeah, so fucking listen to it.
Alrighty.
Do it now.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of What We Learned This Week. Be sure to give us a like on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And don't forget to check out our Patreon for extra content as well. Thank you.